Welcome everyone, I'm Richard Rahn and this is Gerard Leone. This is another segment of our Lean Learning Series. And the topic for this particular segment is value stream maturity, or the value stream maturity model. And I thought I'd introduce the topic by just sharing with you part of our experience with this tool we call value stream mapping. Some of you may be familiar with that. What Gerard and I realized was that when we look at a value stream map, it's composed of multiple processes, the little process boxes that we would create on this flow chart. And there is a concept of process maturity, certainly, that is well known in industry. But we realized that you could have, in theory, a value stream where every process box in that value stream is at a genuinely high level of maturity, but the value stream itself doesn't perform that well. So it seemed to indicate that we had a need for another kind of model to supplement the process maturity model, and we're calling that the value stream maturity model. So we thought we'd share with you how that model works and what the elements of that model are. We'll show you a graphic in this video that shows the various levels, but just picture to yourself at this point a pyramid with 5 levels, with the lowest level being level 1 and then progressing through in terms of maturity to level 5. So we thought we'd share with you what those 5 levels comprise. Gerard, you want to take level 1?
Yeah, let me start with level 1. At level 1 is where we're just beginning. And at level 1 of maturity for the value stream maturity model, what we see is that we have identified the value stream. And it may be one value stream within a company out of multiple value streams. So we have identified that value stream. We have identified champions for the value stream. We have identified process owners. Remember again, a process, there are multiple processes to a value stream, and our objective is to link and balance all the elements, all the processes within that value stream to be able to process our product in the fastest possible way. So level 1, the identification of the value stream map has been created, current state, future state, champions identified, and process owners identified for that value stream. With that, we're ready to move to level 2.
Okay, so that's a good start. Now, level 2 is going to be somewhat controversial. We've had a discussion with numerous colleagues and clients about this, because what we're suggesting is level 2 should really be flow, what we call flow. Those of you familiar with our Lean Roadmap concept will identify flow as being levels on the Lean Roadmap, levels 2, 3, and 4, where we actually implement flow in a process. Again, keep in mind this could be in a factory or in an office. So by flow, we mean linking and balancing the various processes, eliminating queue time, and actually reducing that total cycle time through the value stream, and doing what needs to be done to achieve that as quickly as possible. Now, Gerard, how about clarifying why we took that particular approach?
Well, the reason why we took that approach is because we have seen many times that if you do not start with a complete redesign of all the processes of the value stream, what you may end up having is multiple different processes that you have applied work to through Kaizen events, maybe many of them operating at a high level of performance, but the value stream, and hence the customer, never see a benefit from it. So to make sure that the customer sees benefit from our efforts, we need to focus on the entire value stream, and for that we need to apply flow to all the processes, link and balance all the processes.
The low-hanging fruit in any lean implementation is typically the implementation of flow, and along with that the sister concept of pull. So flow and pull is the low-hanging fruit, and so it made perfect sense to us, Gerard and myself, to call that phase or level 2 of the value stream maturity model to be able to take advantage of those benefits as soon as possible. Because that's the inventory reduction, that's the improvement in quality, in productivity, in floor space, in working capital, in cycle time. That's how you achieve that. So why do we want to wait?
Well, but at the same time, Richard, we hear all the time that we should start with 5S. Let's go and start with 5S, standard work. Let's focus on each individual process. Why is this different?
Well, 5S is certainly a part of everything we do, and 5S is included in what we're talking about at level 2. In other words, 5S would be built into our factory transformation. clearly. But 5S by itself is not going to get us the flow or the pull systems that we really need to have.
Absolutely. And in some cases, you need to be ready to make some compromises. Maybe there are some non-value added tasks that will stay with the new flow process design. Sometimes if you wait until everything is perfect, you will never move. So make sure that if there are some compromises, they are properly documented and that you're ready to come back to fix those in your new line through the application of Kaizen.
Okay, level 3 in the value stream maturity model is what we call standardization. The controversial part that I mentioned earlier was some people feel like standardization needs to happen first. I think we addressed in detail why we don't agree with that approach. But we do agree with, obviously, the concept of standardization, and we're suggesting it comes in at level 3.
Absolutely. For that, we recommend the use of a form that is widely known as a standard work definition, multiple elements to that form, like identifying the tasks, the materials, the times, and the quality criteria. For a copy of that form, feel free to go to our website. You will see the web address at the end of this video, and you'll be able to download an Excel form of the standard work definition.
Now, standardization is not a minor detail. Typically, this involves a lot of work. So again, that's the reason why we're suggesting that we put it at this level of the maturity as opposed to doing it earlier, because it's not a minor detail. It's not something you do over a few days. It typically requires the involvement of the workforce. It's a lot of effort. It needs to be done. You can't get around it, but it is time-consuming to complete that phase.
Absolutely. So once we have achieved a level of standardization, now we're ready to move to the next level, which is level 4, in which we recommend to go for the engagement of the entire workforce. Here, we are changing hats. We're moving from an implementation mode to a continuous process improvement and sustainability mode.
When we visit companies, it's actually quite unusual, not common, to find companies at that level of maturity. So there are, however, firms out there in the world today, both in the US and abroad, that have achieved this level 4 of maturity, where they get suggestions from virtually everyone in the company on a regular basis. Now, most of these suggestions that they receive have to be small. After all, we've harvested the low-hanging fruit already at phase 2 of the value stream maturity model. So most of these suggestions are small, but if you have a lot of them, thousands in fact, then you can continue on this course of continuous improvement. That line of improvement can continue to go upward at a rapid pace.
We are asked many times, so what is reasonable? What should we expect at level 4 in terms of number of people or number of suggestions being posted by people? It really changes from company to company. But if you force us to give you a number, we think that 10 suggestions for improvement per person per year is a reasonable number.
And this has been accomplished, and this is being accomplished today, so it's not impossible. Okay?
So, with a fully engaged workforce that has to be trained for that, now we're ready to move to level 5. And in level 5, what we're looking for is several months of sustained performance.
By several, we mean 12 to 24.
That's exactly right.
Not 1 or 2. So we can't clearly say we're a lean enterprise unless we're able to sustain all the things we just talked about for some period of time. I remember a cartoon where one character said to the other, "My father jogs every day." And then there was a pause, and then she said, "Actually, he's done it once." So this is something we need to do month after month after month for some reasonable period of time before we can truly declare to the world that we're a lean enterprise.
And the reason why we believe sustained performance level 5 needs to be carried out for 12, 18, 24 months is because of human nature. We are bound to go back to what we know. So old habits die hard, and you need to give some time to people to get used to the new way of doing things. And definitely lean manufacturing, lean processing is a new way of doing things, and it takes time to get used to it. I think that's all I have for right now.
That's it, the value stream maturity model.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.